Hi guys, welcome back to our channel Roadies Realtors. I'm your favorite realtor Sitaram Gavas, and today, yet another day, we are back with one of the finest projects in the market, which is very rare to find. And why we as realtors who are here in this market since last 5 years chose this project as our first real estate investment. We are gonna discuss the first thing about this development itself to make you guys understand what exactly this development is offering to the end users as well as to the investors. Secondly, why we chose this developer where we have many options in the market. We still ended up buying property here. There was a very particular reason behind this development why we chose it, and that is basically based on the location of this development and the developer's background. So we're going to understand that aspect as well. But before starting everything, it's Diwali. I would like to wish you all happy Diwali from our end, and for all the support you guys have been giving us since last 1 year. It has been tremendous, and because of your support, your love and your constant wishes, we have been very successful that we also were able to buy our very first property with this developer this year, and we would like your blessings to go with us for the very long time. So let's start with the video right away. In this video, I'll first explain you guys about the location of this development. Then after that, I'll explain you what this developer is, who is this developer, where is he coming from, about the project, and why it is good for the investors and end users who are looking for a mid-range investments in apartments but wanted to stay away from the risk and wanted to play safe, how they can basically go ahead with this investment with Parkfive. So let's start ahead with that. Before making any ideal investment in Dubai, it is very important to understand the location of that development, because as we are standing today in 2025, it is very essential to understand what are locations in Dubai are already saturated and what are the upcoming locations of Dubai. Because if you'll try to go with what is hyping in the market, you'll end up buying something which is bad, which will not be able to fetch you good returns in terms of long-term investments. And why, I will tell you that. As you can see on the screen, it's basically the map of Dubai. And as I always start from this particular point only, that this map of Dubai is basically divided into 3 different regions. The very first region is basically here, which is E11, called as Sheikh Zayed Road. The next to that we have E311, which is Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Road. And after that, what we have is E611, which is Emirates Road. Now, when you see the entire trajectory of development which has happened over the course of years in Dubai, on Sheikh Zayed Road, we have mostly developments where we see skyscrapers, big, huge buildings which are basically commercial as well as residential. When we come towards E311, which is basically this part, if you guys have been in the market since a very long time, you guys are following real estate trends, you must be knowing that this belt, which is in between E311 and E611, this entire belt is called as Billionaires Belt, because what we have over here are all the communities which has townhouses and villas. And now new phases of townhouses and villas is coming basically beyond E611. But in the same region, if you follow the same line here, we have this area called as Dubai South. This area has been in the talks of many investors, end users, and many people who are aspiring to invest in real estate because of the trajectory of this location. Why exactly? Because if you look at here, this whole area is basically 145 square kilometer, out of which 70 square kilometer is entirely dedicated to Al Maktoum International Airport, which will host 260 million passengers annually. Next to that, in this same area, you have this Expo City, Expo 2020 and COP28, a location where these mega events were held. And now this entire Expo City is currently under development, where many other residential as well as commercial developments are coming. If you go exactly inside, we have this Dubai Exhibition Center, which is currently under expansion, and next year onwards, more than 600 events are exactly planned here. Even the GITEX is planned in the same location, which will be held from next year onwards. Now, next to that, what else we have? After going through there, we have this area called as Dubai Logistics City, then we have the Dubai Airport, and then we have Dubai Aviation City. So we have 3 different cities over here which will help in terms of commercial outflow of the money. Then we have this area where we have Emaar South. Emaar is one of the elite Gulf Coast communities which has townhouses, which has villas, which are currently sold out. But yes, for the investors, we still have options in the apartments coming up over here. Then we have Discovery Dunes, Azizi Venice, and BT Properties Wada community. And next to that, what we have is Dubai Industrial City. So this whole master plan will dedicate a lot of GDP potential in the coming years when we are considering the economy of Dubai. But where exactly I have invested? What is that location? Going deep into that location, this is where basically I have made my investment. The location called as Dubai Production City, or we can call it as IMPZ, that is International Media Production Zone. Now, when I speak about this location, most of the investors are still unaware. What is this location all about? Where is it located? When I'll zoom out, you'll try to understand this location is basically on E311, which is Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Road. And if you see this road, which is coming from this side, this is basically Al Khil Road, one of the busiest roads on the map of Dubai, which is basically further getting expanded from this side going directly towards E611 called as Al Fay Road. So this particular community is in between Al Fay Road, then we have Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Road, and this side what we have is Ali Alai Street, and then on this side what we have is Sheikh Hamdan Al Nahyan Street. So in between 4 different roads where we have multiple entry and exits. And why this location? Because when you look at the internal part, we already have setup of many production housing companies in this area. We have housing companies by Xerox, we have printing offices, we have Mercedes-Benz training center over here. So entire commercial hub is already active. Going a bit far from this location, what we have is Dubai Sports City. So we have international stadium where most of the India-Pakistan matches are held this year. This is where the location is, which is just 5 to 7 minutes drive from IMPZ. Then what we have is Dubai Autodrome, where basically all the F1 racing tracks, like basically what we have in Etihad, this Autodrome has the capacity to hold such events in the future. Then what we have is Jumeirah Village Circle, Jumeirah Village Triangle, and from here we can directly reach towards your Emirates Hills, Jumeirah Park, Jumeirah Island, and on the further side we can go towards Marina within 15 to 20 minutes. So this location is very strategically placed inside the hub of Dubai, from where we can go to any part of the city within 15 to 20 minutes only. If I'll leave from here and go towards E311, this side to East our Expo City, we can reach within 15 minutes. From the same side, if I'll take Al Khil Street, I can reach towards downtown, or we can reach towards Business Bay within 20 minutes, and Marina within 15 minutes, New Airport within 30 minutes, and the old airport also within 30 minutes. So the area is very structured in between the entire chaos which is happening surrounding to it. While I'm in the location of Dubai Production City, what I have already is Jumeirah Golf Estate, which is a community which was delivered in 2013. It has 2 golf courses and it has 1100 villas only. So this community has a loyal base of investors and end users who are still there in that community. One of the elite golf course communities of Dubai. Now this huge land parcel which you see, which is open right now, but this is where Vassal, the same developer who has built Jumeirah Golf Estate Phase 1, is coming up with Jumeirah Golf Estate Phase 2. And looking at the entire registry of this location, this is gonna be one of the huge communities which will have golf course here, will have apartments on this side. Recently they have already launched Ash Pinewood Estates over here, which had villas, and then they launched villas on the golf course which were Ashwood Estates. And now on this side they will be having stables. So it will be a combination of polo and golf course within the same community, which will also have Mandarin Oak. But this is about Vassal and Jumeirah Golf Estate. How it will impact your investment which is in the same region. I'll tell you one thing. If I'll zoom in over, you can see on the screen, this is where we have Etihad Rail Dubai Station and Jumeirah Golf Estate metro station, which is currently active. From this side, if I'll take this metro station, within 3 stations I can reach to Expo City. From this side, the same red line metro line goes towards Center Point, which has the metro stations like Emirates Towers, Business Bay, Downtown, TCOM, JLT, all the locations just within the reach of metro itself, and Etihad Rail Station. Why Etihad Rail Station is important for you? Because we need to understand the entire economy of UAE in the future will be dependent on Etihad Rail, because as of now, through Etihad Rail only flight used to happen. But in the future, the residential movement, residential commute will also start happening through Etihad Rail Station. So most of the people who are currently staying in urban lands, let's suppose Fujairah, let's suppose Ajman, Sharjah, Abu Dhabi, they will be traveling towards Dubai using the Etihad Rail Station, which will also impact more people coming into work, more people maybe even coming in terms of staying in that location. And that will impact the entire geography of the location to increase the prices. Indian economy, it is based on railway itself. So this will impact. If I'll try from here, my location, which is basically here, it is just 5 to 7 minutes away. Now coming in midst of this location, why exactly I am focusing on this location? Because this is where the entire infrastructure development in terms of residential is coming in. And my plot of Parkfive is basically based in this plot itself. As you can see on the screen, Parkfive by Deyaar. Parkfive by Deyaar is a combination of 5 buildings. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5th building will be coming up over here. This will have 5 buildings as a small community of buildings, not a standalone tower. So that is again an edge for me. I am not investing into a standalone tower where I have a risk tomorrow, but I am investing into a community which has 5 towers, a sustainable living lifestyle within the community, which will have a park in front of it, a central park. This side which you see, this whole side will be a villa community, so I'll be in a very low density residential zone. And already just next to me I have Lake 1 and Lake 2, which is just at the behind side of me, which has 3.8 kilometers long of jogging track. And this thing which you see over here, this is your Mysum City Center. Now Mysum City Center is basically being built by Majid Al Futtaim. It is already operational, it has G floor, but it has an approval of G plus 3 floors. And this is the same developer who has also delivered your Mall of Emirates, city center Deyaar, and we have been to these locations. We know the massive size of this mall. So my some city center will be also like that size in the future, and which is just at the backside of my community. So I have a mall, I have a Etihad rail station, I have a metro station. The upcoming metro line basically will be crossing from here going towards JVC. So I might be having a metro station here itself, which will be within the walking distance from my community. And then I'm having a community within a community. So that gives me an edge in terms of location specifics. So let's deep dive. My colleague Disha will explain you what about the project, why basically we chose Parkfive as a project, some basic ideas about the developer and the development itself. And then forward to that, we'll come out to the last stage about investors and end users perspective while investing into this location.
Hi guys, I'm Disha Jain. So before we deep dive into the project, I wanted to highlight some USPs of this location. So I suppose Rohan has already explained you the location specifics, but here are a few things that I want you as an investor sitting in the international waters, as we are your local guardians in Dubai, we are your local guides, we are the only point of contact. So I wanted to highlight why as an investor you should go for Parkfive. So when I see city center MySim, I'm very happy and very proud to show you that they have an already existing carry for. They have so many restaurants, Majlis Al Sultan, Paul's Bakery and Restaurant. When I go inside city center MySim, I am actually having an entire lifestyle when I have Indian and Arabic restaurants, where I have Dunkin' Donuts, the Akai Spot, then we have so many restaurants, McD, you have Starbucks, you have Tim Hortons, medicines like for, as you see, Mediclinic, Aster, then you have H&M for clothing. So you have everything which is important for end users also, and what you as an investor should see before investing in a project. So we have been through Dubai market already. We have explained you so many projects. Why this project was specially close to our heart, because you don't have to sell this project. This location sells the project by itself. Why? Because the mall, it is already operational, and this is a mall same as Mall of Emirates, City Center Deyaar, Mirdif City Center, where the entire community, not just the residents of Parkfive, I'm saying the entire community, the people who will be occupying the villas, the people who are currently staying in Jumeirah Golf Estate Phase 1, and the gentry which will be coming in Jumeirah Golf Estate Phase 2, the GCC nationals which will be using the Etihad rail from different countries, wherein they will be staying and occupying places nearby. They already have a mall which is at 1 or 2 minutes walking distance. They already have 2 lakes. The beautification of these lakes will soon be completed, because the jogging track and the plantation, it has already started. In fact, the jogging track is already ready. The residents of Production City as well as JVC, they come here to enjoy and have their morning and evening walks. So guys, as you can see, this is E311. This is the Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Road. This is the second most important road which ensures that there's a smooth connectivity in Dubai. Then this one, when I'm showing you this Al Khail Street, this is another good connectivity wherein Parkfive ensures that people can smoothly enter and smoothly exit. But there is another extension of this Al-Fai Road which is already taking place. So when we now go to the site of Parkfive, we can witness that the extension and expansion of Al-Fai Road, it is already taking place. So these 3 roads, the Al Khail Road, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Road and Al-Fai Road, will lead to very smooth situation in the traffic.
While making an investment in Dubai real estate, it is very essential to understand who and what brand is basically representing your development, because that will also justify your market value tomorrow when the property will be delivered. And why I chose Deyaar as my first investment in Dubai as a developer, while I have Emaar, I have Damak, I have Suba, I still chose this developer. When I speak to my clients, even they sometimes are unaware of the fact who is Deyaar. But when you look at the exact thing which they have been doing since many years, they are in the market since last 23 years. Since 23 years, they have been developing properties. They have delivered more than 20 million square feet, and they are also one of the publicly listed properties developments in Dubai financial market since 2007. Not only a developer, but they also have property management, they have property development, facility management, community management, hospitality, and asset management within the firm. Now, how this helps me? When you look at a developer who himself is providing me all the solutions in one go, I don't have to rely on the market situation and the brokership tomorrow if in case needed. Because if I am an investor who's sitting in international waters, I will always have to keep certain point of contacts to get my work done. If I am investing in Dubai, that means your documentation, your property handover things, the snagging part after the handover, if you want to resell or rent, or maybe basically want to take a mortgage against it, want to manage the property if you don't want to rent the property. These are so many factors which come into place, but people fail to understand if these factors are not there, basically you will be in a horrible situation tomorrow. Because since last 1 year, since 2025 start, there have been many new developers who have started coming in the market, but they are not providing you these aspects. Tomorrow those developers will be basically giving their properties to a third party to manage the property itself, which will actually put you in a situation where you have to compromise on the quality. And this is where Deyaar plays a very vital role. Deyaar is not only a developer, but it's basically one of the biggest commercial facility management firms. More than 60% of office spaces in the entire UAE they are managing. They have 700 plus buildings which they are managing right now, plus one of the 3 companies which basically manages Burj Al Arab, and we have all heard about Burj Al Arab, one of the only 7-star hotels in the world. So within Deyaar, we have Dubai Islamic Bank, which holds 51% shares. So it's basically backed by government. It's a semi-government company. We are not going with a private entity which has a very huge experience of last 23 years. So I'm safe in that case. I'm reliable into this case that this developer will surely deliver. And when I'm speaking about developments of this developer itself, within last 1 year itself, they have launched downtown residences, which was in the Business Bay. It was a building which was almost 435 meters huge. Next to Business Bay metro station, we had IR residences which won an award as well for an architecture marvel. This is in Kuwait next to Vida residences by Imar. This is Ali, which is in front of Jafja 1, which is in UAE Exchange metro station. This is your Rivaj, which is in Abu Dhabi. This is Triya, and then we have Markasa basically in Business Bay. So they have locations all the Emirates. They are not only situated in Dubai itself. They have developments going on in all the Emirates. Now, if I'll speak about asset management, they have an experience of 17 years with more than 250 plus employees, and they're also managing these hotels. Basically, they have Central Parks Towers in DFC, Millennium Atria, Millennium Barsha, even Millennium Montrose. Millennium is the chain of hotels which they are basically managing right now. Even in terms of property management, as I mentioned to you earlier, they have 700 plus projects across UAE with 12,000 number of units and 500 million of total management portfolio, which is not a normal number. When you look at this number, it's very huge. There are not many developers who are basically they have expanded themselves in terms of these things. And coming back to the community management is also a certain thing which they are coming into the place. They are managing a community, so you don't have to worry about the service charges being exceeded in the future. And this is where I'm playing safe myself with going with this developer. These are some of the awards which developer has won. You can see it on the screen. This also matters because if it is being renowned in the market with other entities that they're doing some good work, it makes me more confident while understanding this developer will be a profitable thing for me in the future. And now coming to the main project, the highlight of this entire video. As I mentioned it to you, the project name is Deyaar Parkfive. It's a combination of 5 buildings. First building was Elm, which was launched last year. Then we had Ember, we had Neem. These 3 buildings are on the same plot, which by the way has a Sikka Boulevard in between, which is over here and here. I will share some renders. I will show some renders on the screen to make you understand what exactly the Retail Boulevard is all about. Then we had a recent launch of Ivy building. This is something which is a very hot spot for you guys, because when we look at here, this whole units are facing towards certain location, and as you remember in the first phase of explaining the location, in front of this building there will be a villa community coming in the future. So the people will not have any building in front of it which will obstruct the views. They will have clear views towards the villa community and the cityscape. Next to that, what we have in the center is this central park. Now this is very rare to find a community which has buildings, which has ground floor amenities, podium floor amenities, but they also have a bigger space in front of it, which will be a government built a central park, which will have walking areas, jogging areas, which will have a mosque in between, family zones basically. So if in case you are bored in your apartment, you want to go out, you don't have to go out somewhere else, you don't have to go into Marina. You basically come down just few footsteps away and you are inside the central park. Even at the back, if you have been into the video, this was the lake 1 and that was lake 2. Even in between that we have parks, so you have everything. At the back side of it you have a lake, in front of it you have a green, so green and water, both blue and green, both themes are basically managed. Where I have made investment was in this building. This was Elm Tower A and Tower B. I have invested over here. And why basically I chose this, because I'll tell you very frankly, when I have invested in this property, I'll show you the floor plan which I have taken, but I have taken a unit of a studio, the price point of 663,000 dirhams. Today imagine In this building, which was fourth launched right now, the same studio has appreciated to the value of 720,000 dirhams. So within the course of construction phase itself, when it has not started, I have gotten the organic appreciation of the property. And even when we are investing here today, we have a competition with other developers who are also coming in the market. So I am not saying this price will not increase. With 720,000 dirhams today, I am still at 1200 to 1400 dirham per square feet as per the market rate. And if you look at the market rate which is currently going on in Dubai, average per square feet rate is 1600 to 1800 dirham per square feet. So we are still playing very safe. A one bedroom around 1.1 million dirhams, a two bedroom around 1.6, 1.7 million dirhams, a three bedroom. Especially in this building, what I had was two bedrooms, duplexes, and a three bedroom duplex, which is very rare to find in the entire location. I was even amazed with the fact that Deyaar is coming up with a two bed duplex option or a three bed duplex option, which is very rare, and that will create an exclusivity in the market tomorrow. If you'll ask me, if a townhouse within the cluster of 4,000 units and few duplexes within a building which doesn't have any other duplex in this area, this will have a higher rate of appreciation. When you look at the floor plans as well, this is basically a community which is meant for end users. So most of the investors who have also invested with us, they are investors, but they are also looking at this development as an end user category development. So the price which has appreciated here till 720 will also go up to 850 to 900,000 dirhams. You still have a very good cushion. But I am not only speaking about the capital appreciation which you will have within the next couple of years, but also with this building coming up and the kind of infrastructure wholly Deyaar will provide you. Even if you want to stay or rent, this property will be some of the best properties. I'll give you an example. Deyaar has already have a ready property called as Deyaar Midtown. If we'll go into Deyaar Midtown, the one beds were sold at 750,000 dirhams, 600,000 dirhams, in between that range. Today the one beds are trading at 1.1 million dirhams. Within 3 years, from 2022 to 2025, people have gotten an appreciation of almost 350,000 dirhams. Then afterwards, if you're looking at the rentals, a one bed rental is approximately 75,000 dirhams. So imagine a person who has invested 750,000 dirhams getting a rental of 75,000 dirhams. It's a gross 10% rental yield on the invested amount. That is huge. That is what we need to understand while looking at this basic locality and the project details altogether. Now, the main part of the discussion, the floor plans. This was the unit which I chose for myself. Even this unit is currently available in IV with the new launch. But I would tell you the basic things, the important things while I'm looking at this floor plan is basically, this is a typical studio layout. But when you're entering, you have the kitchen on one side, the washroom on the other side, then you have the living area which has the bed, which has the sofa, everything is there. But when you look very deeply inside it, it has a walk-in wardrobe which will be a private space. You will have a separate laundry space which will not be a part of kitchen. Now, when you look at any normal layouts of studios, I'll show you one more layout which is also in the vicinity. This is how the layouts we get. You enter, you have the kitchen, you have the washroom, the wardrobe is on one side, which is a part of the entire living area, which is not private by the way, and even the laundry space is basically tucked inside the kitchen. So when you're sleeping in your bed, you can hear to the noise of washing machine. And normally this is a typical layout, but eventually if you're looking at this at a longer perspective, this is only for the bachelors. But this, you can basically give it as in one bed altogether because it has private spaces over here. This unit, if I want, I can rent it. If normally a studio is being rented at 55,000 to 60,000 dirhams, I will rent it for 65,000 dirhams to 70,000 dirhams because of a very simple reason of the private spaces inside the floor plan. And this is where the master plan is being played. Also, going forward to one beds, when I'm keenly looking at the one beds, doesn't have a big balcony which you can see. It's not a very huge balcony which is actually taking your space, but a normal one bed which you enter, you have a kitchen on one side, an L-shaped kitchen which has everything. Deyaar gives you fully fitted kitchens with a dining space, a separate laundry area, a separate powder room, a huge living area which is 4.3 into 4.35 meters. Look at the sizes, are very big. And when you're going into the bedroom size itself is 3.80 to 3.25, which is huge. Then you have a walk-in closet which can be closed on one side, and then you have a separate master washroom. Now such layouts are very difficult, and I have layouts which are almost 800 square feet in total, where we have a balcony of 1890 square feet and 700 square feet of internal area of an apartment. Imagine having such huge apartment. Now going forward to the two beds in the same location, I'll show you. But this is one more layout of a one bed which has a walk-in wardrobe like this, which is a typical walk-in wardrobe. So I would suggest you, if you're going with one bed, go with one bed like this. A different layout which will help you in terms of renting your property by showing that exclusivity in your apartment floor plan, which has specific different spaces within the floor plan itself. More than a typical two bed layout, I would like you guys to look at this layout, which is two bed duplex layout. This is a layout which will be on the G floor of that building, as this building has an elevation of G+8. With on the ground floor, it will be a lobby with 2 podiums which will have the parking spaces. You will have podium level amenities which I will show you to on the screen afterwards, and also on the rooftop you have separate amenities for the adults. Then when you're coming into the apartment, you have this apartment. So this is the first floor. You enter, you have a laundry space, a powder room, a bathroom which is for the maid's room. So this is a 2-bed with maid's room included, which has a dining space which is 5.20 into 2.20 meters, and a living area which is 5.10 into 2.5.40, a huge living area. And then you have a kitchen which is parallel kitchen which can be closed from one end if you want in the future. And then if you're going on the first floor, you have 2 bedrooms. One bedroom is this, the second bedroom is over here, while the master bedroom is basically huge inside, which has walk-in closet and the bath which is connected. The other bedroom has a washroom over here, and then you have separate study room. So this becomes 2-bed plus maids plus study together in one unit. And what is the price point? A bare minimum price point with the 1800 square feet of size, it is 2.3 million. A catch for those who are looking into an higher ticket value, but something which is very exclusive in the market, can't be compared tomorrow while reselling. There will not be many competitors in the market tomorrow while you will be reselling this unit for a higher price appreciation. That is the key thing which you look at here. Now we are into the final stage, but the most important stage where investors and end user will understand why this community was good in terms of your finances, the commercials. Look at the payment plan. With the government developer, we are getting a payment plan which is 45 during the construction and 55% at the handover. So for those who have a lesser pocket today but wants to invest into a bigger property, a property which will give them an end user friendly home. We have looked at the layouts, so we know these layouts are big, not a typical layout of 600, 500 square feet of one beds or a typical 300 square feet of studios. We are getting huge size. The studios are approximately 440 square feet, one beds are approximately 800 square feet, and 2-bed duplex, we showed it to you, it's almost 1800 square feet in size. A best place for end users. And when you're looking at the payment plan, it is very flexible. You pay 10% at the time of booking along with 4% of land department fees. And this is a freehold community. You have freehold judgment over here. You will get a code, everything as a freehold community. You pay 10% for the booking, and the first installment comes in the month of January, just after 4 months from today's date. So in 31st January, you'll pay 10% more, and then you have 5 periodic payments of 5% each, which you will pay after every 4 months till the time of handover. And the handover of the community is basically anticipated in the month of December 2027, where you will pay 55%. Now, if you remember in the first phase, I told you that Deyaar has a partnership with Dubai Islamic Bank, which holds 51% of shares. So getting a mortgage at the time of handover will be very easy. Getting a good valuation against the property and selling the property at a profit, so that secondary buyer can also take higher valuation against the property, becomes easy for you. You get lesser interest rates, you get a better solution that you are more than half of the money is basically going with mortgage if you are not having higher amount of cash. But even if you are putting is an investor point of view, you're only putting 45%, and that's 55% comes at the handover. You're not liquidating your entire equity in one go, rather you're spreading it in next 2 years. And that was the main reason, guys. I also myself invested in this property with the payment plan, developer background, the floor plan, and the location. So this was the entire gist of all of it. If you guys are interested to understand more deeply about the community, more deeply about the projects and the availability, get in touch with us on these numbers, and we'll make sure we will guide you the best way possible to get your investment done in Deyaar Parkfive. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.